There's these tines that take that hay as it comes up and they slide it over into the bale chamber. And they go over. Everything's keeping time with the flywheel. Well, also on that gearbox, there's a big plunger, 14 inches tall, 18 inches wide, the same size as the bale. That's the size of the bale chamber. The hay comes in there, and that plunger punches it, and it's just a steady rhythm. So I've spent many an hour standing on that wagon, and the wagon's rocking, and the baler's rocking as that plunger, big old heavy thing, it's a plunging, and it's going at 540 RPM. That plunger's making, 70 or 80 strokes per minute. One stroke in less than a second. Big whoop, whoop, whoop. I can hear it now. And that plunger's just plunging away, cutting it and plunging it. And everything looks like making a lot of noise and a lot of dust and a lot of things going on. But in the back, there's a fascinating mechanism to me. It's called the knotter. It's a little unit there. It sits up there, and it ties the knots in the hay string. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there, not doing a single thing. All this work going on. Tines are working, cross feed going, flywheels are spinning, the plungers are plunging, tractors are groaning and grunting, and the guy on the wagon, he's a working, and the knotters just sit there, not doing a single thing. There's not much happening on the back of that baler, except for one little wheel. It's a little star-shaped wheel about that big, and as the hay comes into the chamber, that little wheel touches it, and it just turns ever so slowly. And as that turns slowly, it drives a shaft, and there's a lever on that shaft. And as that shaft turns, it slowly goes. It'll only go up about 2 inches, slowly raises. And when it gets to the top, it releases, snaps a clutch. As the plunger comes back out of the chamber, two needles with strings attached to them come up through the bottom. The plunger comes back, and it's getting ready to come right back in there and snap those needles off. That comes up there, the knotters flip in a split second, tie the knots, cut the strings, the needles come back out, whoop, 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 back going at it again. And then nothing's happening in the back. Just that little wheel slowly turning. Knotters just sitting there, needles just sitting there. Nothing's happening. But that metering wheel is slowly turning, marking out the time, marking out the length of that bale. It knows when to tie the bale. The guy on the tractor, he doesn't determine that. The guy on the wagon, he doesn't determine that. They can adjust it as they need to, but when everything's set properly, they just need to wait. Maybe that tractor and that wagon go a quarter mile down the road because maybe there's not much hay, just a little bit, and there's not enough to make a bale. Don't get up there and try to tie the bale. The metering wheel knows when it's time to tie the bale. Just rest. And we think, in our lives, nothing's happening. I said, Lord, nothing's happening. I pray for something, nothing happens. It's just that same old grind of every day. Go to work, clock in, clock out, whoop, whoop. Go to church, Sunday, Wednesday, nothing's happening. Lord, what are you doing? What's happening? Nothing's happening in my life. But his wheel is turning, measuring, knowing the right time to trigger everything. And then when it does, everything's got to work instantly within less than a second, because that plunger is coming right back in less than a second. Everything's got to get up there, tie the knots, get out of the way, and go right back to the same old mundane Monday through Friday. Wash the kids' face, feed them their breakfast, clean up after them, go to church, come home, clock in, clock out, whoop, whoop, whoop. Nothing's happening. God knows. He's got a metering wheel on your life and my life.